author Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. Welcome to the writer's vlog, and I do have film like some days this time around. It's not what I would like to have, because last time I had Jack and his friend that started with an S. I do have some footage this time. We'll talk about a little bit of what I've been working on, what I have not decided, what I've decided to not work on, and what's been going on with me a little bit. I've been working a lot, so my writing schedule is not what I want it to be. I decided to focus on my poetry collection, Thorns of My Heart. So that's the focus of this vlog. I really have been really have been trying to make sure I had sit down times, because I want to complete this collection, and it has to be focused on what I have it focused on. So I still do need to write a good amount of the poems that's in this work. So I'm going to go ahead and let the vlog go ahead and start, and I'll see you in between and on the flip side. I'm here and I'm vlogging because I'm trying to remember to vlog for my author's vlog, and it's not going well. So I have a lot going on over the past month, so forgive me for not catching some footage. My mom had full knee replacement surgery. This is the second time she's had it, but it was like 10 years prior for the other one. And my schedule's been crazy because of that, because I, help her, and then I do my regular work schedule, but now I have to get up earlier in the morning to take her to PT and also pick up my brother from work, and I take him at night. But usually me and my mom split the driving, but I'm taking all the driving, so my wake up schedule is different. So I had to change my workout schedule as well, because it was just being too much because of having to go to bed after a certain time and then having to get up earlier. So I changed my workout schedule, which my workout schedule is really late at night. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. So that's why I'm not catching much of my weekly footage. Before I was doing well with, at least getting one video footage for a couple minutes or whatever for that week, leading up to the vlog. But I haven't been able to keep up with that because it takes time to sit down and record, because I'm not a very on the spot type of recorder. I don't like to just I have a thing. That's just how I am. I don't want to just pop up, I even tried to do some in the vehicle while waiting for my mom to finish her PT, but it just wasn't working. So I scratched that. I am not an early morning person. My schedule normally I get up at 8 and I leave the house by 8:30 to go to work, because I work for myself, but I have a very steady schedule, and getting up at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. that's not my usual thing, and I don't really go to sleep before 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. on a regular, usually 2 a.m. But when I'm doing this, I have to try to go to sleep by 12:30, because I usually work out at night around 11:30 to 12:30, which means I have to go to bed right away, right after a shower. I have to go to bed right after that. So it's hard to wind down that quick after workout, and I do HIIT training and weightlifting, so your blood is kind of pumping. So I changed my workout schedule for that. But what I'm working on right now, and I'm going to be repeating in some of my vlogs, because I don't know when or if I'll be able to get more video footage besides the last video for the opening and such. This is going to be I'm sure after the opening. I try to break them up and make it make sense. But I'm working on gathering all my poetry and making the rest of the poems for my dark romance poetry collection, which is supposed to come out in December. is set already to be formatted in November. So I still have to finish writing the rest of the poems. So I'm working on that. I kind of put everything else to the side. I did want to release that this year. Caliostro has already been decided to release in around April next year. The Kickstarter is planned to either start at the mid to end of January to run into part of February, try to be over by Valentine's Day or whatever. It's going to run for 30 days. So that's what's on my roster. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm trying to really keep everything in line. So poetry is what I'll be talking about. This is going to be like a poetry vlog of what I'm working on. And I'll, talk about that here and there before the week. So the video, most of my footage is going to be in the same week that the video releases, because I did not get a chance before that. Not that much was happening. I did do like a pre-recording for a show with authors on here on YouTube. I'm not sure how much I could talk about it. It probably is fine to talk about with ST Houston. But I had equipment problems because my camera for doing streams and things is not the same camera like I'm using for this. I use my phone for my pre-recorded videos, and then my webcam camera is what I use for when I'm at my desktop doing videos, and that had issues. So I was like not on screen for it doing that pre-recording thing. But I'm working on getting that replaced since it was surprise went up. Anyway, I am running wild, running crazy over here with my schedule, but still trying to find time to write. So poetry is the game. And I hope you enjoy the collection. I hope you get it. You might be interested in some of my poetry work. I'm very confident in my poetry. So I would hope that it does well, that people have some interest. I'm going to release the ebook in paperback, but then I am going to do an audiobook of the poetry collection. I will voice it because I do my Layer the Mistress series, which some of those poems will be in the collection, but this is mostly all brand new poetry, besides maybe like 15-20 of the poems that's in the 150 total that will be in the collection. I will be writing 130 of those as of now. Like, I've already started. It's all dark romance. So it's a little twists and turns, a little dark, a little romantic, dark romantic. So I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't checked out my Layer the Mistress series, do check that out. It's in a playlist now because I believe I'm on episode 14 as of last month. So this month will be 15. I kind of double write poetry videos because I now do the PAX Poetry Prompt Sundays, which is the first Sunday of the month on my channel. And those are poems specifically for those prompts, which are not always represented on the Layer of the Mistress episodes. Sometimes they have been, but most of the time not. So you'll get poems from that too. And if they're dark, one on a dark romance side, they might show up in my dark romance collection, which, if you watched my other video, I did mention the title, which is called Thorns of My Heart, which is a dark romance poetry collection. I think that's it for this part of the vlog. I'll see you on the flip side. In between my writing schedule right now, my sleep schedule isn't the greatest right now, so having time to write, it was kind of like almost impossible. Also because I do homeschool my daughter, as I said. So those things take precedence over my writing stuff right at the moment. But I still managed to write, just that it's not the amount that I usually would like to do. That doesn't mean I'm not going to get work done. It just means it's a little bit slower than I like to produce work. That being said, it's not that bad. It could be worse. It could be no writing happening at all, which I really would be sad about. But it's starting to calm down somewhat now, I'm glad to say, so I can actually rework my schedule and get some writing in, um, more writing in more days. Since when I have a focus project, I like to write every day. So, and poetry is different. I dictate my poetry. So I sit down and I just put my computer on dictation and then I speak the poetry. I'm usually quite clear and slow because the computer is a computer still. So I do that and then I rework the poetry. I read it back to myself and see if it sounds the way it sounded in my head, also sounded the way I want it to sound, as it came out. But it's not always like spot on at times. Sometimes it is. But then I have to rework some of the wording and things like that. Um, but yeah, so that's my process for doing writing my poetry. I do dictate it because hearing poetry really gives you the effect if it sounds right. You know what I mean? Especially when you're talking about writing your own poetry. My poetry is a rhyme style, so there should be some kind of rhyming going on at certain hits and points, but I know when it's right when I hear it. So that's what I've been doing. That's what's going on. But yeah, the days are melting to each other. And today was supposed to be like my in the vehicle out and about type of vlog portion. Um, well, my mom's PT got canceled as we were leaving the house, so that wasn't happening today. And I have to be parked to do my in my vehicle videos. I don't do vlogs while I'm driving. First off, I cannot because I have a thing on my car insurance, or I should say vehicle insurance. I don't drive cars. Um, on my vehicle insurance that I follow the cell phone rules and texting, phone being open to even the screen. I cannot do. I'll get you know percentage lowered on my um, good driver record. Um, I never use my cell phone while driving. I don't take calls. I do not check texts unless I am at a stoplight or stopped and before I take off to drive. So I decided to go ahead and just add that little thing to my insurance because it actually gives me a discount. That being said, so I took that. So now I cannot even do a while I'm in motion vlog while driving. So you won't ever see one of those from me unless I stop using this insurance, which I probably won't because it is the best priced for what I have and my full coverage. So yeah, no. Um, but I was going to do one while parked, waiting for my mom to be done PT. So, but I was like, once that got canceled this morning, I was already up early, like 5. I hate 5 a.m. But it's about 7:30 right now, 7:40 something in the morning. I already picked up my little brother for my schedule, and I have to go to work in about an hour and a half or so. Um, so I figured I'd do a quick vlog for today while I have some time. So off subject of my writing, the postal service, those conversations never start well. The United States Postal Service decided yesterday that they weren't going to deliver one of my packages and lie straight up and say that I asked them to hold it at the post office for me to pick it up. With my schedule, I would never do that. First off, why would I do that when your job is to deliver a package? Everyone has their job. So I'm kind of like really annoyed once I hear this. I so happened to have got home early for me, which is usually I don't get home until closer after 5 or running close to 4 something. The post office up here where I live closes at 5 o'clock sharp, and they don't open until 8. So there is no way I would ever be able to pick up a package. So there's no way I would ever say that. So the mail person, because there was someone at my house, not one someone who drives, but someone at my house who saw the postal service man pull up in his truck about a door and a half away from where my house is, didn't do anything, and then left the neighborhood, and then 2 minutes later marked my package as that. So I so happened to be getting home right at that time, and I was told, like, what happened? So I get in my vehicle and go to the post office and say, what is this? What's happening? And then the guy at the counter was like, I was like, could you, he checked the package to make sure it wasn't there. Like, why would it be, it was out for delivery on this dude's truck? And I said, he's lying, talking about, he didn't even attempted to deliver it. Attempt to deliver what? You just deliver it. It's not a signature-based package. He was like, under his breath, he was like, I know what this is. You know what this is? I was like, first off, I shouldn't have to come down here to fakely pick up a package that I didn't request to have picked up because someone's lazy, because he didn't feel like getting out of his truck because he couldn't fit it in the box. No one forced you to be a delivery person. You chose the job. Just like I chose my career. Complaining about it, or you can complain all you want. Let's say you go home, you want to complain, I can't stand this job. This job is tearing the ass out of me, whatever. You can do that. You're entitled to complain if you would like. However, what you are not entitled to do is to fucking be lazy. Don't do the job then. So now I gotta deal with this bullshit, because usually when they put it like that, they never fucking deliver your stuff and it's lost forever. Or they steal it, whichever. Because this has happened with furniture I had was having delivered, and they didn't feel like lifting it and putting it at my door, so they took it back and then tried to say I asked to have it picked up. Sir, I would have just went to the store and purchased the thing to put it in my vehicle if I was going to pick it up. Like, so anyway, I have to deal with that in Amazon, so I don't know what's going to happen. I have other packages coming today, so literally they could bring it back. And I left a note saying, deliver my package, because that's all the guy said I could do. But it still hasn't changed its status. I can't stand lazy people. It's like one of the worst things, in my opinion. Like, you're lazy, you're that lazy, you're right next to thieves for me. Liars and thieves. Liars, thieves, and lazy people. I'm putting them in the same bowl. I don't care. Like, no. Because you have zero reason to be so. And then let it affect other people. Well, I don't want to hear, well, it's just a package. I don't care if I was ordering notebook paper and you elected not to deliver it when you had it right in your hand at my fucking door. Like, anyway, I'm going on a rampage again. Trying to keep calm, because I'm not in the mood for people. This is why I stay away from most other epidermis-based beings. Anyway, on the writing side of things, I did get a few poems drafted out yesterday. I say drafted out most of the time when I dictate my poems. So when I do dictate my poems, most of the time they're going to be mostly complete at that point. I go back and touch up maybe if I think a word doesn't fit right or whatever the case may be. So I call it a draft because it might need some touching up. But usually I do the touching up as I'm writing it. So I wrote about 3 different ones yesterday. I didn't have much time to sit down and write. So I did do that at least. Let's see what today brings, because it's a tiring day. I probably won't get home until mid-afternoon. Maybe I'll get home a little earlier today. But yeah. And then before another delivery thing, I had ordered some LED lights for my Halloween decorations that I was about to put up, because I tried to get them up early so at least have them decorated for a while. But I'll leave them up anyway till close to I decorate for Christmas. But I opened the box and go to check the attachment to play it, and then the cord was broken inside the box. I was like, So now I have to ship it back to Amazon. They've already sent me a replacement that's on the way, but I still have to box this item up, print the label, and drop it at UPS. Because if I try to get UPS to pick it up at the door like we used to be able to, it's another $8. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna drop it off then, find a box somewhere around here. And I don't even have any box tape, so they're probably gonna have to do that at the UPS store. Because why would I just have that sitting around? I'm not packaging things up on a regular anymore. I used to. If people could just do their jobs, that would be nice. I'm still, on track because it's not like it's a super rush to get all the poems written, but I'm going to probably write way more on the weekend. See you soon in the next part of this vlog. You may also notice that some of my video quality, I don't know if it's going to look any different because I usually record in like 30 frame HD quality, but I tried on my phone trying the 60 frame HD, but we'll see because it could have some video quality issues or not. Hopefully it won't because really re-recording is not my jam. I don't want to do that. So hopefully it turns out right. Besides that, that's all I really have for the vlog. It's very much focused on my poetry at the moment because I plan to try to push the Thorns of My Heart dark romance poetry collection out in December. So that being said, I do have to focus on getting it finished completely. It is most of it's done because it's my poetry. Some of it's gathered, some of it's newly written. A lot of it is newly written. As I mentioned, it has about 150 poems in the book, so that's a good amount. And I think about 20 something of the poems that I want to use, because I have plenty of other poetry, but it's not for the theme of this poetry book, so I can't use any of that. So I only had about 20 something pre-written before I started writing the new stuff for this collection. So I really hope you enjoy it. If you watch my Layer of Mistress series, then you should like this kind of poetry. But that's what I have this month for the vlog. We'll see what's going on with the next vlog, because that would be November's vlog. I would obviously have completed the poetry collection and would be in the almost final stages of editing, I would imagine, because my formatter will be getting the manuscript before the end of November to format it, so that way I can do that, because all the editing stuff would be done. So when I do that vlog, it'll probably be before my formatter gets it, but I'll be just finishing up the editing, more than likely. That being said, that's what I have. That's what's going on. A lot of running around, a lot of heavy work schedule, but things are starting to calm down a little bit. My sleep schedule has not been the best, like I said, but I took yesterday and went to bed early because I just was exhausted. So I did that and rested for a while, and then I finally got up and my body felt better because it's been quite overworked. And then sometimes you do have to listen to your body, and you need to stop, rather you have so many things to do. But of course, eventually reality had to hit me, and I did get to get up this morning and do things, because this is I'm last minute recording this part of the vlog. This is like last minute, which I usually already have it all pre-recorded because I usually do them at a time, but that schedule allows. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the vlog, and I'm sure I will see you in the next one. And if you are inclined to write anything or just hang out, we do have the Goddesses of Writing back on schedule for tomorrow evening. So I will see you here on YouTube live or writing. Of course, I'll be writing poetry. All right, see you then, and stay scared.